archaeologists, I'm the Johnstruct. I'm having the Tales of Berseria adventure, and I've been playing with my settings, my OBS settings, and I have it now. So when I talk, the game goes quiet. It's a fairly common feature called side ducking. It's not. I haven't quite got it where I want. One, I probably need somebody on stream. But the thing I really wanted to do is I wanted to do that only when the game is loud. Because right now it's being quite quiet and the volume was fine. But during fights it's going to be really loud. And that's when it's perfect. And so I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I just want... Can I have the... Tapping on the internet. Dear internet, can I have side ducking only... And the internet's like, I've never heard of that concept. Brand new concept. No, it's surely not. And so, no, I like... I don't want it when it's too quiet. Too quiet? Here's how to get the perfect settings. It's like, no, I'm not too quiet. I want the side ducking to only kicking. So we'll see. I guess the first thing I should do is stop lollygagging and put her in the stupid maid outfit. I'm not putting the maid hair on though, because that's dumb. That's also a bit much, but fuck it. It's only a computer game. She gets to be one of those types of maids.
No reply this time either?
Nah, but she's doing okay. I can say's that much.
That's good to hear. I can rest easy then.
Now's about getting that pot wrapped. I's got this new sunflower print, huh? How's that sound?
Yeah, that one's cute enough. Let's go with that.
Did he just say cute?
Help you with something?
Someone dropped this letter. Do you have any idea who it might be?
You didn't read it, did you?
Wait, it's yours?
We didn't read it. Much.
You really didn't read it?
No, of course not.
Put this letter in with the package.
Who's got it? When you ship with the Turtles Express, rest assured your mail is in good hands.
If you're done here, we're ready to head out. Our destination is Midgand.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Was he sending a gift to someone? And with a letter, too.
Gotta be a lady friend, that's for sure.
You think? Either way, that letter was really polite. And did you see that penmanship?
Did you see the penmanship?
Yeah, I didn't know old Reeps had it in him.
I can hear you two, you know.
Ah!
I dropped the consumed letter.
Watch what we say from now on.
Yeah.
I noticed you've come up with your little name for the kid. You sure are the sentimental type, aren't you?
Oh? Calling him Fee doesn't cost me anything. And it's not like I gave it much thought.
That may be the case, but no one else has taken even that token effort. And in doing so, I wonder if maybe you were trying to encourage him to be his own being. After all, one requires a name before he can consider his own identity. Having been given a name, he realizes he is his own entity, separate from others. But a certain formless essence comes to life inside him. And you're the one who set that process in motion for the kid. Whether you intended to or not, you changed him from a puppet into a living being.
So what's your point?
I've been with you since the start of this journey, haven't I? Wouldn't kill you to give me a nickname, would it?
I've never really thought of us as being that close. And besides, you just forced your way into the group.
Come now! I know you've got a bigger heart than that! Surely you have it in you to give a nickname to a dear friend!
We're not dear friends. And even if we were, I'm not good at nicknames anyway.
Please, I'm begging you!
Okay then. Moggy.
Oh, come on, that's so obvious. Can't you put some heart into it for your dear friend?
Fine. Lou.
Do I look like an old man to you? You're not even trying!
Okay then. Witchy McWitcherton.
Interesting. Well, if I had to rank it against 1,000 other nicknames, I'd probably put it at number 1011. A nickname needs to have charm. It needs to leave a lasting impression.
Sure then. Hattie.
Now you're just saying what you see!
Book skirt.
That's not any better either!
Ms. Creepy Eyes.
That's just an insult! Look, no nicknames based on what you see, and especially no slandering!
Lil Miss Witch who smiles around you but stabs you in the back when you're not looking.
Hey, that's personal information!
Look, I told you. I'm not good at coming up with nicknames.
Forget it! I should have known this wouldn't work!
Aizen, what happened to those octopuses?
Dial and Kurogane took them to the kitchen. They said they were going to make dinner for Kamoana.
They're going to feed demons to her?
A Therion needs malevolence to survive.
That's why they carried them off alive.
What do they plan on making?
Octopus ink pasta with takoyaki and fried octopus on the side, and Hellavesian octopus carpaccio.
Do they have a takoyaki pan here at the prison?
Kurogane hammered one out with some iron, along with a large pot for the pasta.
Still looking like that? Takoyaki would hit the spot right about now, though.
Octopus ink pasta, huh?
Like squids, octopuses release ink as a defensive mechanism, but theirs is made of different stuff and is used in other ways. Squid ink is stickier and acts like a decoy, but octopus ink spreads out like a cloud of smoke. But squid ink has 30 times the savory flavor, so octopus ink isn't used in pasta all that often.
Luffy told me the same thing. He said that's why octopus ink pasta isn't very good.
Luffy said that?
Yeah, so I ended up not making it for him. But I wonder... I guess it doesn't matter, since I can't taste it now.
I'll taste it for you then. So make me some octopus ink pasta sometime, alright?
Alright, and I'll be sure to make some that doesn't come from demons.
God blimey, no, there's been so many letters. Like, consider the amount of reading I had to do at the end of last stream.
Hey, who did Aizen send that letter and cooking pot to, anyway?
I don't want to think about it. That walloping still stings.
You've got to be curious, though, right?
Maybe.
It was serious stuff. Whoever it is must be important to him. A lover, maybe.
Aizen's lover.
A child wouldn't be happy with that cooking pot, and a man wouldn't want it wrapped up so pretty. A young woman with Aizen's tastes, then. He'd be bound to fall for a miraculous match like that, right?
I don't know. I bet she's that girl with the yellow umbrella.
You really have a thing for her, don't you?
I do not. That's not what I mean.
Then pray tell, what do you mean?
Huh?
Eavesdropping, Eleanor? How unseemingly rude of you. Besides, Luffy said is free to like whomever he chooses.
You're one to talk about eavesdropping, Moggy Lou. Anyway, it's just that the sunflower design on the wrapping reminded me of her.
Now that you mention it, but does it really matter? He has someone to write to in any case.
True. I can't help but feel a bit envious.
What a nice way of summing it up, Velvet. So you were eavesdropping too, then?
We're not done.
Say, what do you think about Aizen?
Oh, so that's the kind of guy you're into, hmm?
Huh. Not what I'd expect, but...
No! I just feel there's something different about him. The way he picks presents, the objects that catch his eye.
Oh, is that all? Boring.
No kidding. All men have some kind of particular interest, big or small.
I suppose that's true, but he seems a bit, shall we say, overly obsessive?
Now that you mention it, he does have a tendency to ramble on about various topics.
And it's not just the items he collects.
There's more to it?
Every weekend, he eats curry for dinner, and every time we go into port, he docks at the 3rd bollard.
Come to think of it, I heard the galley crew complaining that he always needs his pasta cooked exactly the right way.
And when he needs a new outfit, he always goes to the same tailor and returns with identical clothes and boots. It all has to be exactly the same size and in exactly the same color. Turtle says he's very nitpicky.
Sounds like he's not so much picky as he is a pain in the ass.
But I do see a different side of him now. I thought pirates were all rough and filthy, but it seems they can be quite meticulous.
Not much of a reassessment.
We're not done.
must not feel great only ever getting tails, I bet.
Nah, I don't really mind that much. It's way too late for me to start letting that bother me.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice to get heads at least once? Hell, I know I'd like to see that, and I bet Laphicet here does too.
Yeah, I do.
Right? That's why I've brought something a little special.
Two-headed coin.
Ta-da!
What's so special about that coin? It looks identical to the one Eisen already has.
The front side does, yes. But both sides of the coin are actually heads. I had Kurogane make it for me custom. If both sides are heads, then not even the Reaper's curse can stop it.
Well, yeah, but that's cheating. What's the point in getting heads if it's rigged that way?
It's not cheating. It's called effort and hard work.
How?
If you always work hard and never give up, you'll make your own way forward. All right, I'm in. I'll get that heads for you. What?
That crow just flew off with the coin!
Those birds are attracted to shiny objects, I suppose. Damn it! I can't even win against a crow.
Don't sweat it. I figured something like this might happen, so I had a backup ready. Go on, give it a shot. You'll show that curse who's boss this time.
All right, here goes.
I don't believe it! Now Prince Percival's griffin's gone and eaten the other coin right out of the air!
Are you kidding me?
Not to worry, I've got a spare backup. It's time to put that curse on notice.
Right. Here I go.
You gotta be kidding me. Reaper's curse or not, does it really have to go this far over a damn coin?
It's fine, really. I had a feeling it'd turn out like this.
Well, I sure didn't.
Yeah, me neither.
It was nice of him to make free coins, though. That is all of the conversations. I like the conversations, but sometimes there's a lot of them. Oh, we're not done, but it's a different type.
May I ask you a question?
No!
What?
You're an Earth Moloch, yes? Why live on the sea when your kind sinks in water?
I live on the sea because I'm an Earth Moloch.
I'd be curious to hear more.
Ifrid used to go on about how we should accept what we were born with. But one time he joked about the idea of a pirate who couldn't swim, and he laughed and laughed. I wanted to clobber him right then and there, but it wouldn't have changed the fact that I can't swim. I didn't want some predestined elemental affinity to control who I was. Instead, I underwent tough training to overcome it.
Well, I guess that's one way to approach it. Did this training of yours bear any fruit?
Any devil fruit?
As soon as I stepped into a river, a big flood brought down a landslide from the mountains and swallowed me up. Then, when I tried going into a lake, the seaweed suddenly multiplied and tangled around my body, nearly drowning me. And then finally, when I tried jumping into the ocean, a huge whirlpool formed with me at its very center.
Huh. The Reaper's curse at play?
As far as I'm concerned, my Earth affinity and my Reaper's curse aren't much different, in that they've both shackled me since I came into being. This is about pushing and challenging the constraints I was born with.
So, did you eventually learn how to swim?
Pretty much, yeah. As long as I never let go of my portable life preserver.
Oh, huh.
Hey, Eisen, is there, anything we can do about the Prince's hawk? Griffin, I mean. Every day, it goes out on these hunts or whatever, and brings back the weirdest stuff. It's making a real mess out of the deck.
Hawk's hunt? What's the big deal?
Well, yeah. At first it was bringing back good stuff like seaweed and fish, things we could cook with. Sure, I was glad for a while. But then it started to escalate. Now we're talking 150 kilo amber cants and 350 kilo killer swordfish that it's catching.
That's not a bad thing, is it? It just means more to eat.
It is when they're being dropped from the sky onto the deck. Especially those killer swordfish and razor-sharp bills. What if somebody gets run through by one?
Can't you just warn the prince that his bird needs to be more careful?
Yeah, we could, but he looks so happy watching his hawk. I'd hate to spoil it for him.
Yeah, the prince looks so happy whenever Griffin is flying free. He kept grinning and asking Grocky all nice-like if he wanted to fly some more.
Grocky?
That's what Kamawana kept calling Griffin. She says she came up with it by combining Griffin and Hawk.
This is probably the first time in the prince's life that he's tasted any freedom. His whole life, he's only done what duty dictated of him. Letting Griffin fly was his first free act.
Oh,
To
that
the
poor prince.
Rocky's an extension of who he is.
So what are we going to do?
Nothing, really. It's not like it really hurt anybody.
But it's punctured some major holes on the deck.
I'm sure even the prince knows when to rein it in. Let him have a little fun. He deserves it.
I don't know about all that. I'd say the prince is letting his newfound freedom get the better of him. Hey, I was just up on deck and it looks like Griffin's caught an elephant tuna this time.
An elephant tuna? That's the really big tuna that can swallow a killer whale whole, right?
That almost sounds like a demon to me.
Yep, huge fish, gills like elephant ears. I saw it myself. From the looks of it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a demon. It's crazy valuable. On a good day, it can fetch 20 million gold on the market. But there's something ominous about seeing it hovering in the air above the ship.
20 million gold? I take back everything I said. The prince and Griffin can do whatever they want.
Did she say above the ship?
Oh, hell. Benwick, we need to stop Prince Percival.
Aye, aye, sir. Hey! Don't drop that on the deck! Are you listening to me?
Perhaps we'll walk. Skip his letters, yeah. Forbidden subject and sailing's out the way. We're ready to set sail. Midgand. Where is it? We've also got this. Maybe we want to go to here instead. Vesta tunnels. Oh, hang on, can we... Cadnix, Riddies, Lothgan... Okay, I'm going to teleport to Cadnix. Cool. This is exactly the sort of music I don't want to... It's already quite quiet, you know? I mean, I don't know how obvious the effect is. I'll have to like look at recordings and stuff. I don't actually know where the doors are. I guess we'll find that out as well. At least the monsters are leaving me alone. Oh, I spoke too soon, didn't I? And at least I don't have to walk out. Is this our maximum speed? I'm gonna go with yes. This is our maximum speed. I don't... Okay, map. Where am I? Okay. We are going the right way. We could have done this a while back. I just didn't really consider how to teleport around. Did I just go in a circle? No, I didn't. You.
I'll finish this quick.
Right, so this is when I want the side ducking, you know? And I guess the big advantage is that I can, you know, turn the game really, really loud and be confident that it will be quiet when I talk. Like, that's literally the entire point. And I don't have to shout either. So it's quite loud in my ear.
You're not hurt, are you?
No, I'm fine.
But another big worry for me is that it goes too quiet when it's already quiet. Anyway, I illustrated that specifically because I wanted to listen to it later. They refill. That would explain why they're on the map. Here we are. Hope this was worth it. Save our game.
This must be Longdow's dust. The ingredient Vidal's Omega Elixir recipe calls for.
I can't believe you actually found it.
We have to go tell Vidal. Maybe he's been able to translate the rest of the list.
Yeah.
Where does he live? We need. We have a lot. We'll go to Cadnix first. Get on my ship, you know.
Did you guys hear? The search party that went to the Laban tunnel was wiped out by a demon.
Really? They were the ones out searching for Count Capelus, weren't they?
You mean the one who managed to get kidnapped? Despite everyone else at his manor, servants and children alike, getting killed? You'd think noblemen like that would have some decent exorcists among their personal guard.
Suppose he did. But I heard every blade there, sword and spear alike, was found chipped and cracked to hell.
What kind of demon could do that?
Who are the Capeluses?
They are one of the great noble lines, on par with Oscar's Dragonia family, and have served Midgand for generations.
People refer to them as the royal family's hidden dagger. Unlike me, you never hear good rumors about them. They say behind the royal family's glory lies blood and tears shed at the hand of the Capelus family.
But those are just rumors. Although I do know that in recent times, the Count had stood against the rise of the Abbey.
I couldn't care less about the whereabouts of some noble. But we should be careful of the demon that took out all those exorcists.
Yeah, it sounds like a worthy opponent.
That's not what we came here for, is it? The inn. Somewhere completely different. Somewhere we've not been. We'll go to the inn first. Nice to do some bona fide side quests. It's almost like it's an RPG or something.
Wow! Is that Longdow's dust? That's one of the Omega Elixir ingredients!
I know,
You
right?
found it! You really found it!
Yeah, it's proof your research is right.
Thanks! I've just managed to translate the description of the second ingredient. Here, take this and... Whoa.
What's wrong? Your face is red.
Hey, you're burning up.
It's fine. I'm pretty much always running a fever.
That makes it even worse. We need to get you home so you can rest up.
But I'm still translating the recipe.
You heard me.
All right. She's scary. Is she your sister or something, Laffy said?
Well, it's kind of a long story.
Oh, okay. Well, you seem to have a pretty complicated life.
Do you think he's always that sick?
Wouldn't surprise me. I was weak when I was a kid, too.
He's probably been like this since he was born. That must be why his parents named him Vidal. It means to live.
Huh. I never thought about that.
Laffy is like that too. It means one who lives.
One
Lived.
who lives.
Vidal. Anagram.
And he
lived.
wants to be an explorer when he grows up. I feel sorry for him.
But if he drinks the Omega Elixir, I
Also
think
devil.
he can get better. When he sets off on his adventures, will you let him aboard the Von Eltia, Eisen?
I suppose I could.
The game
cut
is
the
telling
deal.
us that he's going to die before the end of the...
I'm a pirate
quest line.
kid. Comes with the territory. But I promise you, I won't charge him too much.
I suppose that'll have to do.
One who lives. I did not know that Lafisette's name had meaning behind
Oh,
it.
Lafiset means that.
Didn't mean much in the end. I poured my soul into
Fair
getting
enough.
him through.
Same thing,
He's
though.
still dead all the same. Hope. What a waste.
You really think it was pointless?
What else am I supposed to think? It won't bring him back.
Am I sitting in an odd way? That might explain what my... No, because now my... Oh, whatever, I'll just sit the way I always sit. Hurt my neck and I'm trying to figure out if that's because I'm sitting awkwardly. That's Zexon. That's whatever that place is. That's the ice caps. Exvidloth. That's Port Zexon. Are we in Zexon? No. Well, we can take a boat easily enough. We did a little bit of a side quest. So if we want to go to the question mark, we'll have to walk. We could probably teleport closer. It's right across from Zexon though. Whereas I don't even know how we get to the ice place. That's where we started, right? We'll carry on with the plot for time now. The game will probably give me a reason to go to that continent.
The boss has given me a message for you. Says there's some sort of nasty demon running around in the Aldina Plains, to the east of Logris. She thought it might be the one you're looking for.
Wasn't the Eastern Highway closed off from Logris?
That was only temporary. It's back open now. If you follow the road, you'll reach Stonebury Village. There you'll find one of ours who actually saw the demon. You want to know more? That'd be a good place to start.
Got it.
Hey, that's the same direction I sensed the...
Give Tabitha our thanks.
Those are nice shoes. Both of them, actually.
It's looking more and more like we're on the right track. We ought to go check out that Bloodwing story.
Then let's start by going to Stonebury.
Hey, Eisen, did I say something wrong back there?
No. I just didn't think we needed to give the Bloodwings any information for free.
Huh?
He means the earthpulse points, kid. We're the only ones who know about them.
But aren't we on the same side as the Bloodwings?
We're not enemies with them. But I wouldn't go so far as to call them our friends either.
That's just how it goes in the underworld. Things can change at the drop of a hat. A poison hat.
But how are they supposed to trust us if we don't show them trust in kind?
That messenger knew our faces, even though we'd never met. He was here waiting for us, even though we hadn't told anyone where we were going.
You're right!
We hardly know the first thing about them, and yet they seem to know every move we make.
They could easily sell us out if it struck their fancy.
They'll work with us as long as we're a useful ally in their resistance against the Abbey. But the more tricks we can keep up our sleeve, the better.
We've got each other's back, but only as long as we hold a knife up our sleeve. That's what counts as trust in the underworld.
That sounds terrible. But at least you can trust that Tabitha's cooking will be tasty.
Can't argue that.
True that.
This is everyone's first time to Stonebury, right?
Why was it blocked off? Demons?
No, there was a great tornado on the Aldina Plains that swallowed up a whole merchant caravan. Hundreds gone in an instant.
The cooling of the climate is causing bouts of odd weather. Thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and the like.
Correct. The Abbey is keeping a tight guard on traffic through the affected areas.
If it's open now, that must mean the tornado is gone.
I wonder what sort of place it is.
It's quite lovely. In the vast forest to the east, you can find gemstones, and it's teeming with rare plants and insects. The locals trade only as much meat and hides as they need, and they live peaceful.
Okay, yeah, they've all got the same necklace thing on. The Norman.
This place.
It's where the Norman he first
Oh,
found
she's got one as well.
Yeah! Please don't embarrass me. Though we are apart from each other now, our hearts are still as one.
Immediately after you and I made our pact and set off, she fell in love with some macho Norman and moved away.
What? Why haven't I heard about this? How long have you known?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I found out during my long search for you. Or maybe it was right after we left. I remember leaving something in the village and going back to... Oh well, not like it matters.
It does matter!
There's no sense in crying over a fickle girl. Come, Stonebury awaits.
I'm curious. Okay, no, not the... No. That thing there. No. Stand still. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's nothing there. The metal thing on her neck. Okay, so if I put on... Okay, these Norman don't have them. Maybe it's on the head. No. Interesting.
I'm so happy things have been peaceful around the capital. I can come to the harbor to shop without fear. I heard that those demons that made a mess of the palace have been wrecking towns all over, though. But Shepherd Artorius and the fine folks at the Abbey are on the job. I bet those demons are quaking in their britches.
Let's hope that's the case.
Of course it is. Lord Artorius is incredible. The demons have been mostly cleared from the area around the capital.
Your love for the Abbey and the Shepherd are great and all, but I'd keep it down. If you keep poking around the bushes, you might catch yourself a snake.
A snake?
There's a rage-crazed girl out there who hates the Abbey. She's a real viper, that one.
She sounds awful.
That's what I hear.
Who are you calling a viper?
Where are we going?
The Eastern Plain is finally open for travel. I hear that the people of Stonebury are alive and well. My husband and I can breathe a sigh of relief.
I wasn't worried about him at all.
He talks tough, but he was really worried. Oh, sorry you don't know who we're talking about. It's his apprentice.
What kind of apprentice?
My husband's an architect. Even the royal family and the Abbey commission his work. He's been at the docks here on a job. He just finished and we're about to return to Logris.
These people don't care about all that.
Why did your apprentice go to Stonebury?
He's young and talented, but a bit eccentric. He said he wanted to help create a new town, so he set off to the frontier.
A craftsman has to focus on his work. Creating a new town. Ha! He should know his place.
But my husband didn't disown him. That boy's fearlessness reminds me of my husband when he was young.
So you understand how he feels then?
I didn't say that. If he thinks he has the talent, he's free to do as he likes. But if he doesn't follow through with it to the end, I'll be done with him.
Did you hear that? He thinks the boy can do it. If you ever find yourself in Stonebury, go visit that boy's workshop.
Right, I'll do that.
Sorry about my husband. He can be a real...
Sorry, I was lining their heads up.
Don't worry about it. I'm pretty used to people like that.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Baka. That's quite a long way. Can I visit, like... Oh, I can. No, can I just look at the world map, please? Lothogun is actually really close, actually. So we want to go to Lothogun and Galleys Lake. Fuck it, let's go to Lothogun. Try north. You know what? Let's occasionally attack things. 3 XP. I have been meaning to change his glasses.
Another victory.
The mustache. I'd make him as tall as everyone else. Fine. I have the halo. He's got the halo. That's a once. Oh yeah, I wanted to change his haircut as well. Yeah, they are different. He's been 7 already though. Fine. That's enough, John.
finish this quick. I can't even call that a fight.
Let's do our best.
Fucking plants. I hope we get extra experience for this.
Well then, let's move on.
How do I get to there? Fine, we'll just go do our quest. I was gonna do a thing, but it won't let me there. Laban. Maybe I can teleport to Laban. Maybe we're just straight up not allowed to there. Dance Lake, Dannon, Logress. Leave me alone, birds. This is dead end. On the wrong way, okay. Wish I could jump. I can't. It's like having something to mindlessly click when I'm running about. Dang it. At some point I'll bump into that mini boss that I should have fought like 12 hours ago. No, let me up this way! No, of course it's not gonna fucking let me this way. Ah! Maybe I can jump on the island.
You better be ready.
Are you hurt? Can you stand? Yeah.
So, I guess I kind of like the idea of this freedom section. But also, it's just taking a very long time to get anywhere. Unless I'm missing a trick. Little squirrels. That snake looks like a pine cone. Maybe it's that question mark. How the fuck do you get it? Cross the plains east of the capital. I'm literally there, aren't I? Cross the plains east of the capital to Stoneberry. Leave Logres, turn right. Yeah, so I'm not allowed to jump this large gap. Right. Try that again, shall we?
I think I've
God damn it.
gotten used to it.
Used to what?
Your powers. I think I finally got a handle on them in a way that feels right.
That's good. Hopefully you won't faint anymore.
Yeah, and I'll keep learning too. I hope we can make this work out.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Hey! When you and Eleanor made your pact together, she gave you a true name, right? Was it a good one?
True name? What's that?
It's a special name in the ancient tongue given to a Moloch as a necessary step in forming a pact with a human. I gave Bienfu the name Fushi Cass. It means thing.
That's pretty messed up.
It's just my own little way of showing affection.
So what kind of name did you get, Laphicet? What's the matter? She didn't give you a really weird name like Magulu gave Bienfu, did she? If you're not happy with it, I can talk to Eleanor about it later. So go on and tell me...
I'm fine with it. And I can't tell you anyway.
Well, you don't have to get so worked up about it.
A true name is not something a Moloch just casually divulges to others. They carry a special meaning to us.
Not Bienfu.
Speaking it to anyone other than our Pact Keeper carries a special meaning. Between comrades, it means we trust them with our lives. In other cases, it's...
Practically a confession of love!
You could have said something sooner, you know.
Laphicet's at a delicate age. You should be more careful in the future.
Oh, really? It's just another way of showing affection.
Yeah, he's wearing a thing underneath. Why would... He's not the only one who's got one of those. She gets one as well. And I guess it... Yeah. Oh, damn it. They did, you know what, they said that and I just wasn't paying attention, was I? You know, that the road was closed and no, it's not.
Whoa!
A dragon.
That's gotta be the demon Tabitha wanted us to know about.
It's flying free, but could it still be a Therion?
I just felt an earthpulse point. It's that way, somewhere near the top of that mountain.
Let's check it out.
Don't want the ears. Oh, the mustache changes colour.
Are we ready for this?
we're getting it. It's just taking a while. There we go.
This fight is over.
Other people here. Well, I shall. I'll continue like I was always, but by this tree. Alright, doesn't seem like we're in any danger of dying. But it still makes me a little bit nervous. Hang on, where'd you get all your health back from? Oh, that's a heal.
Come on, really?
Oh yeah, I forgot she has a blade arm. Like, this particular costume doesn't emphasize the creepy monster arm. Right. Trying to sneak up on these fairies. Big line, aren't they? Not standing near each other.
We won, right? Right?
Are we ready for this?
Oh, I totally did not see them. Fairies, pretty sneaky. If I was a fairy, I would totally hang out with a wyvern as well. Oh, hello, Eisen. Yes, yeah, we're all dressed up currently as, servants, I think. Ooh, since you're here, he's a chef. I've now got it so, the game gets a little bit quieter when I'm talking.
I still need a lot of training.
So yes. So normally we look like. Hang on, one thing. Normally we look. Actually, no. I got a mod because normally her clothing's all ripped up, and I thought that looked a bit dumb. So I got a mod that fixed it all up. But that's what she normally looks like. But I was a pirate for a while. I like the pirate costume. And right now we're mates and stuff. And it's the same with all of them. Starts off as like a weird monk thing. Didn't really like the pirate outfit, but now we're in the servant outfit. He starts out. I don't have the swimwear. Oh yeah, because I wanted the haircuts that came with him. He starts out as this, and then we were a pirate. Apparently, that's a pirate. And now we're a chef. She started out in this, which is very bit dumb looking for like a soldier. Then we were a pirate, which somehow was less dumb looking. Now we're maid. What's this? Oh no, yeah, I forgot. Okay, we'll go back to that one. So she starts off in that, and then she was a pirate, which yes, and then we're maid. But we were a troop. I forgot. We spent a while being a wizard, a magician's troop, but only the three ladies have magician clothes. So he started off like that. Then he was a pirate. I like his pirate costume. Now he's a servant. He gets the best costumes basically. Oh yeah, and she was Where is it? There we go. That's where I got the little hats from. I kind of missed the little hats. But I was going for the butler garb. But yes. Typically speaking, like you get a bunch of clothes in the game, but not these costumes. These are DLC costumes. But I may have got them via means other than paying extortionately for DLC. Or maybe I did, who knows. Where am I going? Oh, well, you know what? I think that's the path that was blocked that I walked the wrong way round to. Yeah. That's why I paid for this game, right? Because, you know, but I wasn't going to pay money. Or maybe I did. I certainly wouldn't want to pay loads of money for... Okay, we clearly don't actually need to go this way, though. Do we? Maybe we do. Now I'm not so sure. But yeah, each set of costumes is like £8 or something, £7, which is absurd. I would have really liked it had they just given me the drip fed the costumes throughout the game. But that's what I've been doing manually.
I'll show you the beauty of my spearwork. Spear please! You wronged me! Here's your justice! Fight in order!
Double haze! Disruption!
Come on, really?
I'm pretty sure this game launched with DLC as well. Like it was day one DLC. This kind of makes me feel like I'm not supposed to be here yet. I don't think so. I think they're all different settings. But I'm not 100% sure. I think we're supposed to be climbing a mountain. It's quite hard because normally it tells me where to go. But clearly not here. This is a dead end. Is it? Oh, kind of look. I can't tell. In this one, we're the baddies. Was that the place I couldn't go to? Have I somehow... Oh, we'll see. We're collecting shiny things. So yeah, how's my volume? How's the volume of me? How's the volume of the game? Yes, okay, good. I went the wrong way again. Awesome. Well, you're not supposed to notice it, but But I assure you, the volume dips down whenever I'm talking. Because apparently it gets really annoying if it's really noticeable as well. But yeah, I can see it on my computer. It will get... It'll dip down about 10%. What I want...
I'll finish this quick.
I'd like it to do that. Like right now, if it didn't dip down, the fight music would be too loud. So this is the exact time I want the audio side ducking.
I hope I did a good job.
But when it's quiet like this, I'd kind of prefer it didn't. But there is apparently no such technology to sometimes do it. And I want it to like, if the volume is above a certain threshold, then allow side ducking. But that apparently does not exist. And I'm apparently the first person to have requested this feature. I'm sure you could do something clever with a mixer program. I don't want to install a separate mixer program. I also considered compressing the game audio. You'd have to be extremely subtle about that though, because you'd just make everything sound awful. But then if I compress the game audio, then I can have the quiets be louder. Not for me, I mean for the audience. I'm listening to everything as intended. But yeah, I've not found any guides on subtly compressing game audio. And also, I don't know if you can compress and side duck, because they both use a sound filter, and I don't know how they prioritize the orders of filters. Because if I could bring up those quiets... Do I want to go to Down End Highway, or was that where it came from? You know what? We'll just go this way. Oh, something to fight. Let's go fight that thing. It wants us to go in there, but I want to fight that thing first. How long have I been streaming? You can tell I'm the baddie because I'm going around massacring fairies. Yeah, I'd quite like it if I could get velvets and trousers. This exact costume, but with some trousers, would be nice. That is not an option, apparently.
Your style is really unique.
Just wait until I pull out the good stuff.
Quite the trek. Yeah, imagine trying to have a picnic around here. Bloody fairies and wyverns interrupting you every so often. I also see a chest. Probably a chest guarded by a boss. I suspect. No, I can just go to the chest. We'll fight the boss anyway. I'm a little bit nervous that it's got a haze around it. Arcane bottle. Let's go fight a peacock. A dodo peacock. King peacock.
You wronged me! Here's your justice! Fight in order! Power pivot! Take the guy! I'll finish this!
Do you want me to do a spell, Maggie? Alright, halfway down.
Think you can dodge? Just try. Perfect mayhem.
There's something slightly amusing about the idea of going out all-out anime boxing match against like a giant goose.
Whew, I thought we were done for.
But we weren't. We weren't done for. We won. We were won for. That's a phrase, right? Right, let's painstakingly trek all the way back to where we want to actually be. Taking care to avoid all the flying creatures. And the treants. More like miscreants. Mistreant? Whatever. We'll be exciting and walk around the other way through the rock. Cat box! That's why we sometimes go off the beaten path. Because you find a cat box. I found a cat. Okay then. Sometimes finding a cat is its own reward. Bug.
I don't think we understand.
There we go.
I refuse
have a creepy demon arm. Yeah, when I get to the end of the game, I'll put everyone in my favourite costumes, I guess. But right now, I'm trying to keep them all on theme. And I'll have a period where they're all in the original costumes.
Yeah, I can really feel the earth pulse now. It's up above.
Guess we're in for some mountain climbing then.
We need more of those baubles, since we spent a bunch. Save again. Save a new one every time, of course. Space is not a premium. Big wide open space.
Here! This is the earth pulse point I've been feeling!
No Therion and no barrier.
I must have gotten it wrong again.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. That dragon could well have broken its barrier. Or it might have been too powerful for the Abbey to subdue.
You could be right. After all, dragons make for the strongest demons.
The problem is, we don't know if it's a Therion or not.
Yeah. Let's stick with the plan and head to Stonebury to gather more information.
Am I the only one here who thinks the real problem is how we're supposed to fight a frickin' dragon?
That's what they're supposed to look like.
I can't wait to take a good look around. Whoa, now that's what I call a view.
I agree that it's beautiful, but don't leap about so much. You'll fall.
I can sense many earth pulses under this place.
I figured you'd notice that. An intricate web of earth pulses crisscrosses the land under the Aldina Plains. Mountains like these would normally take tens of thousands of years to form, but these popped up in about a millennia.
So the earth pulses have affected the land?
Exactly. Long ago, people wielded arts that allowed them to manipulate the earth pulses and control the very land itself.
How could arts like that exist?
Perhaps they pushed against key points on the earth pulses? Like how acupressure can improve a person's blood flow.
That's a rather forced comparison, but you may be right. Either way, those arts have been lost for eons.
I'm impressed, Eisen. You know a lot about everything.
Not at all. There's so much I don't know. For example, the name of these flowers. That's why I travel. To learn.
Aldina alabaster grass.
That's the name of this flower?
Yes. A long time ago, my brother showed me a picture of it in one of his books. They're fragile flowers. They die quickly on their own, but if enough of them gather together, they can survive. Fields of them form beautiful white carpets of flowers. In some cultures, they symbolize kinship, the bonds between people.
Kinship? Huh.
I'll remember that. You and your brother taught me something new today.
I'll never forget either.
Cool. Yes. What was I going to say? Oh, I watched some wrestling. Spot the Old Wrestling recently. I watched a cage match. And at a certain point, they climbed up the cage and started fighting on top of the cage. And a bunch of people. What's always fun is watching the one guy who's clearly afraid of heights very gingerly climb the cage, and he doesn't do much on the cage because obviously if you're afraid of heights, you request, can I just do nothing on the cage? I'm already on a cage, but like contrasting him with the guy just sort of running about, and then he does a move where he holds the person's legs, and he does a big spin. And that guy's insane for being able to even just do that move. But doing that on top of a cage is looked terrifying. Because, like, what if he dropped him? He didn't swing around the person who was afraid of heights, because obviously that's a big ask right there. Did I open that chest? Yeah, I wouldn't have had to. Well, don't jump! Jump. Now where am I going? Over there. This is probably why you shouldn't explore. There's a bunch of side quests, I just don't know how to get to them right now. Well, there's 2 side quests. Does that, you know, if somebody bought you 2 flowers, you wouldn't call it a bunch of flowers. Call it a pair of flowers. But nobody says pair of flowers. Couple of flowers. I guess because a couple of flowers would be romantic again. Like, oh look, it's a couple. But then I guess you wouldn't say a few. Because, you know, three's a crowd. Definitely don't want 3 flowers.
I don't think we have a
These woodland creatures sensed that I was talking too much and attacked me. Also, I accidentally ran into them. Now, the only issue... Well, it's not the only issue, because I literally said an issue earlier. The other issue I have with the side ducking is that I can tell the audio of the game, or even the audio of my desktop, to go quiet when I talk. But if I have, like, say, a guest with me, then it doesn't know when they're talking.
Right?
Okay, yeah, I know what I'll do. Because it doesn't use the audio main, I'll have it so it only goes quiet when they talk. And I can just be louder. I can just be louder than everyone. It's fine. Leave me alone, tree. We've had fights. Let's get chest. Let's get the chest. Now let's go to the star. It's, yeah, I like this pseudo open world. I've said it before, and I'll just, like, it's pretty much open world, like Xenoblade does as well. But it's sort of controlled and in little areas, and you don't have total freedom, and I kind of like that. I think open worlds can be too big and too emphasized. Although I'm very interested in seeing how Final Fantasy VII does it. I'll have to see how I feel when I get... I never finished Final Fantasy 15. And like playing through 13, like there's a lot of novelty there. But like, as I was saying before, what felt like the end of Final Fantasy at 13 has only gotten worse in 15. 13's now a throwback to that. Still, I should finish this, really.
All right.
I'm like 30 hours into it.
Where would I be?
I'm going to talk to everyone.
I found so many blueberries! What are you gonna do with all those? Make jam? I'm going to feed them to my chickens. That way they'll lay eggs with purple yolks. What? You know that won't work, right? It sure will. The color of yolks change depending on what a hen eats. My grandma taught me that.
Actually, we always feed our chickens corn. Is that why their yolks are yellow? What are you gonna do with purple eggs anyway?
Tourists are coming from the capital again, right? I bet they've never seen purple eggs, so I figure I could sell them for a lot. Maybe I can even make our village famous!
You've thought this out, but will they really sell? You know what they'd make, right? Purple fried eggs, purple omelets, purple egg fried rice. Hey, would you want to eat a purple omelet?
Strange things sell, right? You don't have to be so mean just because you can't think of a better idea.
Oh, sorry. Here, let me help you.
Fine. Go catch a whole barrel full of jewel beetles. If we feed them to my chickens, we'll get eggs with yolks like shining jewels.
I really wouldn't want to be your chickens, but... okay.
What a carefree village.
But you know, this is what really makes humanity amazing to me. Attempting the impossible. Reaching for the stars, just as a matter of course.
Aye. Though we may stumble countless times on our way, we can achieve anything we put our minds to.
Attempting the impossible, huh?
That's all well and good, but there are some lines that should never be crossed. Purple eggs.
What was I going to say? Oh, so, for reasons I might go into, there's an AI picture generator on the internet. It's called DALL-E. There's DAL Mega as well, but we don't have access to that. And people have been making all sorts of funny images using it, because you can say, you type in Death Star gender reveal, and in 3 minutes it'll show the Death Star exploding, but the explosions are all pink and turquoise, because it's the gender reveal colours. But you can type anything in and it will generate it. To a point, I wanted to generate, for reasons I'll go into maybe later, like a lane leading up to a house. But instead of there being like white stones, I wanted ruby stones. And that's all I wanted. A ruby stone road or red stone road leading up to a house. And it was just like, you want a stone road leading up to a house? There you go. And it's like, I want them to be red. It's like, and sometimes it would have like some of the stones be red. It just really didn't like red stones. And I was like, that's really interesting. Why didn't it like that concept? Like I managed to type in what I wanted. I wanted a haunted house on a floating island during the day. And it was like, nah, haunted houses at night. And it's like, the island can be at day, but that haunted house is at night. It's like, it's really like, because the way the AI must like rip haunted houses. But yeah, I think the more advanced versions would get it to work. But I don't need a ruby road. But as soon as the AI didn't give me it though, that was like the next 2 hours going, go on, give me the thing I requested. Like, I want to see if you can do, and it just wouldn't. I generated so many images, and it just like, sometimes it would do like the edges of the lane red. Sometimes there'd be a bit of red in the picture that was nowhere near the stuff. And I was like, why? Why does it really hate me doing that?
Raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. They all grow in abundance around Stoneberry.
No blackcurrants
there.
there.
A fairy tale about it. One day the ground was covered with so many fallen berries, they all became stones.
Stoneberries. Is that how the town got its name?
The spelling has changed some, but yes. Berries are an important part of this village. We harvest local berries to make jams, pastries, gels, and all sorts of sweets.
Berry-flavored gels! I've never had one.
We've exported our jam and fruit for a while now, but our raspberry gels are still being perfected.
Aw, rats.
Are the vegetables growing in that field special too? I don't think I've ever seen anything like them before.
You've got sharp eyes. But that's right. They're a rare species of wild potato. They're red and they're called radish bells. We discovered them in the mountains nearby. Sadly, the potatoes are actually highly poisonous.
Really? They look so good.
They do, but the skin and the sprouts are toxic. If you aren't careful when removing them, it's Poisonville for you.
And that's down the road.
Deadly poison aside, they're sweet, fluffy, and go great with butter. And when they're fried nice and crispy, they're the best.
So just skin them and sell them. What's the problem?
Yes, we've thought of that, but the way they are now, you have to peel off quite a bit before you get to the edible part. Peel one as big as your fist, and all you get for your trouble is a bit of meat the size of an egg yolk. That's why we're selectively breeding them. One day, they'll have only a thin layer of poisonous skin.
Why not breed them to get rid of the poison altogether?
With no poison, bugs will eat them, and they'll be more vulnerable to cold and heat. With potatoes, as with people, getting rid of everything harmful isn't always for the best.
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
That actually was subtext, but I just like pressing that button.
The water around here is ideal for producing wine and spirits. I've been thinking about fermenting something new.
What will you make? This region's specialty is berries, so a berry wine?
But the chilly air and level of humidity here should be just right for making an amber draft, don't you think?
Considering the geography around here, the water must contain a high mineral content. If you use it to make a rice wine, the taste will be unique.
I've considered all those options, but I must create something that can surpass my greatest rival, Sleeping Princess.
But that's nearly impossible to make.
Exactly. Not an easy task, to say the least. Sleeping Princess is made by filling an emerald cask with water from an enchanted mountain spring and sitting it in direct sunlight for 7 years. The water's magic causes it to change color each year. When it reaches the same deep green hue of the cask, it's ready.
Solar fermenting, huh? It won't be easy to surpass a marvel of the winemaking world like Sleeping Princess.
True, but I've finally found it. The ultimate stone.
A gemstone? Will you make a cask from it?
That would just make it an imitation. No, what I found can only be called a natural rock filter.
You're filtering wine with a rock?
Deep in the heart of these mountains, I found a stone that absorbs liquids. I tried using it to filter a berry wine. The taste of it was unbelievably crisp and bright. It preserved the luscious richness of the berries, while adding a clarity that left me breathless. I call it Pure Land wine. There is no better.
May I have a taste?
My apologies, but it took me 10 years to make a single thimbleful. I drank that thimbleful for my tasting. It'll be about 50 years before I can make a decent batch. I doubt I'll see a full bottle in my lifetime.
50 years, huh? Meet you back here, then?
I've never been so glad not to be human.
Yes. I'll give the game this. It puts an awful lot of effort into going, yeah, there's a tiny village. What's this village about? The things that grow, you know, they're like, they don't skimp on that. But also, it's all done via these conversations that are entirely optional and unrealistically long. Right, I still don't understand the rules to this game for sure. I'm winning. So, as I can see, if I do this, it will highlight things over there. So, it'll pair them up. Maybe I'll do repair with repair. And then just grabs some more. And it goes, there you go, you get an extra pair. And I don't know why it does that. But it means I'm winning. Oh, I didn't get a second pair that time. Oh, Sworn Ally! Oh, I finished the round. I'm happy with those 5 points. These are characters from all the other games. Lloyd, I know Lloyd. I'm going on to pair the moves. Oh, I didn't get a second pair. I'm losing. Crown Princess, no! Now there's yellow lines on the screen. Oh, nice move, you. So it draws the second card. It just seems to be random. Yeah, I finally got Lloyd. Heroic Scion! I will finish the round because I won. I did, I won. I got 30 points. Here's my Lloyd. And his teacher. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Wasn't sensible at all. There you go, now I've got those two as well. Renegade of their time and age. That guy. You. Yeah, I meant to do that. That was my plan. Heroic Scion. That's that. I'm going for the Heroic Scion build. I've earned some points. I won. There we go. No, I do not want to try again. I do not understand the rules to this game. And I refuse to listen to the rules.
Take a good look.
Oh, you know what? It's actually been ages since we've let's see if there's anything worth buying. I care about the rarity, and they're all rare 10, so we'll take them. It's gonna burn through all my... Okay, that was possibly foolish. Okay, whatever. So we want the rarity 10, even if it puts my damage down, because we'll upgrade it in a second. It's been a while since we changed this as well. Battle Maniac. No, that he puts it up straight away. Yeah, we've still got those Kurogane daggers. I could just never upgrade them. But they're plot ones. I wish I knew which ones were the new ones. Time is it? Okay. Brunhilde. Oh. still the worst thing I've seen in this game so far. So come on there. Oh, why not? Right, then we have to dismantle everything. Apart from the Gorigani. Don't think it will let me unlock these. It might. No. Cool. Enhance. Cool. Lovely. Wastrel. Same again. I might make myself a cup of tea. Ooh, cat box. I booked tomorrow off work. Aviator sunglasses. Okay, we need some aviator sunglasses. That doesn't work with your hair. What if I changed her hair? I'm not on. Oh, it's got different ponytail things. Okay. Nothing's working out. That's a bit too silly. Where does the notebook go? What goes there? Sure. There we go. Then you. I'm not super keen on this outfit. It just seems a little much. But no, I'm not changing the tiny hat. I refuse. Maybe I'll change it to a different tiny hat. Whatever. While syncing the glasses for you. Vitally important, this. Who's the aviator glasses? Am I blind? There we go. Right, I just need to get something for him. He needs more haircuts. Yeah, never using any of this stuff. What's his name? Isn't. Oh, it comes with glasses. I'm only interested in the hair, though. We'll see. I don't think it suits the glasses, but I also don't want to spend 40 years. You're being silly, John. Just play the computer game.